Hey everyone, Amari Records here, and today it's time we start our list. Looking back on the year that was 2024, or still is, because I'm recording this at like the tail end of the year. Anyway, it's time that I give you my top 10 songs of 2024. Now, before we get started, you just need to remember this is my list. It's what I personally enjoyed. These are my favorite songs of the year, not yours. So don't be saying, oh, this was snubbed, that was snubbed. Like, sure, I'm all for that type of discourse. Like, let me know what yours were. And I'm happy to like debate stuff like that in the comments. But just, it's my list. All right, let's get right into this. Starting off at number 10, we have Hijack by A$AP Rocky. Now, it's a mix of the two greatest aspects of Rocky. You're getting the braggadocious side of him and the psychedelic side. When the Jessica Pratt and Creed vocals come in, and the song begins to transform into what it does, you really feel like you're floating. It's just that ethereal, like chill vibe that we all know and love Rocky for. It's kind of like a changes off of testing, where you really feel like you're levitating. It's so beautifully composed. Rocky's vocals coming in and out of that end section as well, but also the memorable lines he throws into that first half. It's that classic cocky Rocky energy. Sorry about those bars. I just adore the song. Rocky, throughout that first half, he's making us laugh with his clever lines like, catch me on the block, not the web, this ain't Minecraft. Just clever lines like that. And it makes us realize how much we need this guy to drop. Yeah, we really need Rocky to drop, basically. But yeah, my number 10 spot, one of my favorites of the year, without a doubt. Oh yeah, and before we keep going, I just want to say, we're going to save honorable mentions till the end, because I feel like that keeps you guys guessing about what I could have, because if I reveal my honorable mentions and I say a song that you guys would be expecting to be in there, kind of ruins the purpose of the video. So right before my number 1 spot, I'll do the honorable mentions. I saw NFR do that and I actually really like that idea. Alright, my number 9 song. Now I feel like some people are going to say this is a bit low, and it might be surprising considering who my favorite artist is. But at number 9, I got Not Like Us. What really is there to say? Kendrick made a West Coast banger that doubles as one of the most vicious diss tracks in history. And of course, that flow and cadence that he catches at the end of the second verse, just mind-blowing. I was in awe hearing that for the first time, and I still am every time I play the track back. Incredible song, incredible production. It is a true West Coast anthem through and through, and it felt like a victory lap for Kendrick. The ferocity he came with on the track as well was nothing like anything else we've seen from him this year. Top tier track in every way, shape, and form. I adore Not Like Us. It had to make my list. Coming in at number 8, arguably the best intro track of the year, I have Saint Chroma off of Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. The sporadic beat switch perfectly contrasts the militaristic opening, whilst maintaining Tyler's aggressive topical focus, serving as the perfect entry point into an album as blunt yet surprising as Chromacopia. The spoken word from Tyler's mum assists in helping us understand Tyler's goal with the album, to maintain his creative spark and confront the things that threaten to dim it. The backing vocals from Daniel Caesar, the synthesizers, the keys, Tyler's vocal filters, everything just meshes so well together, which culminates into a track so unique I had no choice but to include it in my list. It's just incredible music and exactly what I wanted from Tyler in 2024. Coming in at number 7, my second favorite outro of the year. We're going to get to my favorite very soon, but that is Trey the Truth in Ibiza. Yes, it's an outro. 7-minute drill was always like a bonus track, and it officially is now the outro of Might Delete Later. The sample-based production backs Cole as he talks about his work ethic and current outlook when it comes to music. No longer worrying about what people think about or will think about his songs, and just moving on his own terms, which is exactly what he did this year. It's not a proper portrayal of himself to strictly present the perfect. He wants us to know he's written bad refrains, and although he may appear to be the best in his music or every song that he's featured on, he wants us to see everything in his music. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything. In his words, any other portrayal would be fraudulent, and I adore this type of writing from Cole. Listening to the Inevitable podcast makes you appreciate this track even more when you hear about how Cole was so caught up in what people would think, like going down to when he was producing a beat, thinking, oh, is this a hit snare drum? It's just incredible to see how far he's come and openly talk about stuff like this in his music. Probably my favorite off of Might Delete Later, without a doubt. Incredible cut from Cole, and won't be the last you're seeing from him. Little spoiler alert. Coming in at number 6, I have a two-way tie because I really couldn't decide between these two songs. So I don't care. It's my list. I'm gonna do what I want. And these two songs are both from GNX, and we have Heart Part 6 and Gloria. Now, Gloria is a masterful use of personification with crazy double entendres throughout. The pen wordplay that comes in that last verse was phenomenal. The I know your favorite movie is at Notebook, wiggle through that sentence, right hand, my saint and my sin, like just incredible stuff from Kendrick that can double both about a woman and an actual pen. And it really shows how much Kendrick loves and values the art of writing, and it's just such a special track in his discography, especially after the year he's had as well. Like you've seen, this guy truly cares about the art of lyricism and everything that comes with it. And then for the Heart Part 6, I love this song because you're taking that journey with Kendrick from the early TDE days with Ab-Soul, J-Rock, Punch, and Schoolboy Q, and just hearing like how Q joined the crew, and then seeing Kendrick's evolution, wanting to go from this label mate to having his own enterprise in PG Lang and wanting to move into that executive position. It's so well written, and the Pharrell production in back just incredible, and that sampled chorus as well. It gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. It's such a beautiful song. There's nothing really more to say. Incredibly written as well. Kendrick really outdid himself on GNX, and those two songs had to be in my top 10 of the year. Alright, now we're moving on to the top 5. Coming in at number 5, 616 in LA. Now, I know, back-to-back Kendrick placements, but come on. This is perhaps the most surprising and mind-blowing song from the beef. It was the warning shot, the final chance for Drake not to continue down the path he was heading. Kendrick's writing in the first verse is ridiculous, almost unbelievable to a certain extent. I know that there are references very few people on this planet would be able to understand during the song's beginning, but then we hear Kendrick call out to God like a Viking entering the battlefield, with some of my favorite lines of the year following this section of the song. And these include, "But I live in circadian rhythms of a shooting star, mannerisms of Raphael, I can heal and give you art." Just fucking exquisite writing from Kendrick. Beautiful writing like this coming in a song this vicious is mind-blowing to say the least. And the visceral second half of the song really showed Kendrick's dedication to the feud. The sample-based production by Jack Antonoff was not only a clever response to Drake, but also unique and interesting for a diss track, giving it a feel that no others in this battle had. I adored this track from the moment I listened to it, and I'm still going back to it this day. I don't care that it's not on streaming. It really is just, it's so unique as a diss track, and the point that it was able to convey and how deep the writing in it goes. Like, I implore you to go into Genius and like look at all the annotations. It's crazy, because I'm sure that there's things that, just like I said, a lot of us don't know because we're not in that industry. We don't know what Kendrick could have been alluding to with these lines, but holy shit, just insanity. Number 4, I have Fuel by Eminem featuring Jid. If someone wanted to tell me that from a technical perspective this was the best rap song of the year, I'd agree with them. Before we go into the song itself, I just want to say something. Jid and M are a match made in heaven, and I cannot express how happy I am that Jid got a placement like this and was able to deliver a verse as good as the one he did. Jid's topical focus in his verse, revolving around a gun, made it feel like a continuation off of topics from the Forever Story, painting pictures of the lifestyle and experiences of people in Atlanta, whilst doing so through some of the best rhyme schemes and flows we heard all year. It was a lyrical tirade from both sides though, and I can't talk about this song without praising Eminem's verse. The wordplay, provocative bars, and technicality of his pen show that almost 30 years after his debut album, he is still arguably the best rapper of all time, reminding everybody why he's held in such high regard. The assonance and alliteration combination towards the end of his verse, the whole "got the most content on the continent," that whole scheme, was fucking mind-blowing. This song demonstrates the absolute highest form of lyricism and was my favorite song off the Death of Slim Shady. It had to be in my top 5. Incredible work from both MCs. Top 3 now. Whew, let's go. Number 3, I got Like That by Future and Metro Boomin featuring Kendrick Lamar. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys heard screaming wherever you were in the world at roughly 3:20 p.m. on the 22nd of March. Never have I ever been more shocked and excited on first listen of a song ever. I was already really fucking with this song when it started, doing the stank face and bobbing my head to Metro's hard-hitting production and Easy Does It sample inclusion. Future's cocky energy on the track was also making it my favorite song on the album at that point. But as soon as that chorus ended and I heard Kendrick, I lost it. That was enough to get me up and jumping around my room. Hearing your favorite artist pop up on any song unexpectedly would do that to you. So I was already more excited than I anticipated listening to this album. An album, mind you, which I was insanely hyped for to begin with. And then Kendrick said 3 words which made me go into a frenzy. It was at that moment that I realized where hip-hop was heading. And I started screaming and cheering out of sheer disbelief. No song has ever had me react like that. Ever. But aside from the sheer shock of it all, Kendrick's verse was packed with masterfully written lines, whether that be the Eminem comparison/reference through the Melly Mel bar, the Prince line which instantly combat Drake's Michael Jackson comparison on First Person Shooter, or the clever 3-stack stick line. The song will go down in hip-hop history, not only for the moment it sparked, but also for being one of the most triumphant and vicious songs ever seen in the genre. What a fucking song. Number 2. We have Reincarnated by Kendrick Lamar. I know it's a lot of Kendrick on this list, but come on, he was the MVP of the year. How is he not going to dominate the list? It's a conceptual Kendrick track. How could this not rank highly? The track is masterful in every aspect. Kendrick's perspective switches serve a larger purpose in the grand scheme of the song. The subject matter revolves around how artists have used the fruits of the music they make for sin, thus polluting the art, with Kendrick showing how the devil himself embodied these musicians who we hear from in the first 2 verses, before eventually getting into himself, Kendrick. This is revealed in the song's final verse, where in his argument with God, God mentions kicking this figure out of heaven. Kendrick rids the devil and evil within music, and vows at the end of the song to take the power back within the art form, no longer letting people use it for evil, but rather the opposite, living in one harmony. Seriously, it still blows my mind every time I listen to it. I get goosebumps. It's impossible for me not to. The Tupac instrumental and Pac-esque delivery mixed in with the Eminem and DMX akin argument at the end of the song really shows that Kendrick is a true student of the game and should only be in conversation with such artists as the ones I just mentioned. Absolutely flawless song from every aspect you can think of. I couldn't have been happier hearing it for the first time on GNX. And now, before we get to my number 1 placement, I just got to give a few honorable mentions. First up, Thank God For Me and Blue Slides off of Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q. They were so close to cracking this list, and Blue Lips is one of the best albums of this year, undoubtedly. Then we've also got Either On or Off the Drugs by JPEG Mafia, Paul Rodriguez by Logic off of Ultra 85, and Take Your Mask Off by Tyler the Creator off of Chromacopia. Great perspective shifting from Tyler. But my number 1 song of 2024...
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
You know what, let me ease into it. When I look back on hip-hop in 2024, the first thing I'll remember is the beef, as I'm sure everyone else will. But, truthfully, my favorite song as a result of this feud was not from Kendrick or Drake, but from Cole. Port Antonio is the most beautiful and heartfelt song I've heard all year. And what makes this song so special to me is the final verse, where Cole raps about why it is him, Drake, Kendrick, or really any rapper create what they create. It hit me deep and made me take a step back from the larger-than-life form hip-hop took this year, reminding me why I love this art form so much and how much I love Cole's music and what he stands for. Obviously, Kendrick was at the forefront of hip-hop this year for most people, as he was for me, but Cole was right there next to him as well for me. Going through his early journey with him in the Inevitable podcast makes you realize that all Cole wants and has ever wanted was to be the GOAT. A song like this makes you realize that he didn't start rapping for the glory, the accolades, or the attention, but rather he started rapping because of the solace and comfort it gave him when he felt hopeless, the exact reason I got into the genre and am even talking to you about it now. I relate to this song on a deeper level than anything else I've spoken to you about today. That final passage where Cole talks about the purpose of music hit deep. There's nothing more I can say. It's songs like this that make Cole my favorite artist of all time. And subject matter aside, Cole's rapping is flawless, and his schemes are impeccable, with insane wordplay throughout, be that the Feed It reference or U2 line. The sample-based production also feels warm, and complements his subject matter perfectly. This song may not be everyone's favorite, but it's certainly mine. And with that wraps up the list. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your top 10s in the comments below. And also, I just got to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been watching the videos. My little 2024 compilation video is doing numbers right now. I couldn't have even fathomed that happening. I literally threw that together in an hour, so I'm so thankful to everybody who's given that a watch. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We recently hit 200, which is insane to me. I thank every single one of you for watching. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe. This is only the beginning. Hit notifications so you don't miss any more videos. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.